Welcome to the Murfreesboro.com podcast, where we talk about all things Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Join host John I. Carey, his co-host Jonathan Harmon, and producer Trent Denson as they talk about all the great things happening in our city. From construction updates to local business spotlights to all the amazing events happening in our community. Listen in for all you need to know from Murfreesboro.com. Welcome to the show.
Oh my gosh. Hello. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry, little pre-podcast jitters there. Yeah. Welcome back to the show, Murfreesboro.com podcast. We're very excited about this one. We have a wonderful guest that we have been trying to get on the show. I'm just kidding. We asked you once. You were banging me right here. Right. So thank you. But John I. Carey here, Jonathan Harmon there,
Good
producer
morning.
Trent over there.
Yes, sir.
Jeff back there behind the scenes,
Hey,
giving us
Jeff.
the wave. And the wonderful Miss Kelli Beam.
The one and only.
Yeah. The one and only.
No one else like her in Rutherford County.
That's for sure.
I have no idea about other counties, but definitely not in Rutherford.
One of a kind. All wonderful Kelli Beam over here.
Something
Thank
like
you.
that. Well, thank you.
And you know what is your official title?
Yeah, what
at the chamber?
are you?
'Cause I just
What
know,
am I?
You're just Kelli Beam. Everybody knows
you're
you.
Miss Chamber.
Yeah.
Well, my official chamber name is Vice President of Membership Development.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So, because we have the running joke here that between us here, we know everybody in the county, and you come in by yourself and know everybody in the county.
Twice
And then some.
twice as many. Yeah.
Well, that's my job.
That's your job.
That is my job.
And you're
I
pretty
love my
daggum
job.
good at it, too.
So, thanks.
That's for sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, no
I
kidding.
do love it.
Well, thank you again. We know you're very busy. Taking
know,
time
it's
to come out here.
It's a wonderful rainy Monday morning. What else would
That's
I be
right.
doing?
There you go.
Yeah,
All right.
for sure.
But yeah, you gotta love the ring. But anyways, the chamber, you guys are always, doing something cool in the community. Or there's 1,000 ribbon cuttings. You guys, we've been members of multiple chambers before, but you guys are the most active by far.
Thanks.
By a lot.
By a lot. Like we joined the Nashville one. And I was like, ooh, Nashville chamber. I'm gonna keep my words down on them.
Yeah.
They're nice people over there, but you guys trump them big time.
Well, thank you.
By how active you are and everything you do. So.
Well, we want to make sure that we're doing and having opportunities for our members. So that's the biggest and number one thing.
I got you.
And so making sure that we're staying active with programming and things of that nature is really, really important to our team. And so we're always looking for those opportunities. So we do have a lot going on. Our mission and our vision for the community is to promote economic development and quality of life. That's our mission. But we do that in a lot of different ways. And of course, you guys have heard this, but economic development, workforce development, tourism, which plays a huge role. Yep. And then chamber, the smaller things. I'm kind of the last on the list, but as far as events and programming, but it's the most visible sometimes because it's the things that are most tangible to people, where you can come out and you can visit and build opportunities with people and build relationships. So those are the four main areas of what we do at the chamber. They just and they look different in every community. I will say when we are with other chamber executives, because we actually host the Tennessee Chamber of Commerce executives state convention every year, and we have first year students and second year chamber people that'll come in and go through these classes. We feel very confident. And people are always calling us and saying, what are you guys doing? Oh my gosh, they're like emailing us after like all the ideas, give us some ideas. And every community is so different. So we try to just give them a good basis of things that they can work on and do. These are things that have continued to evolve over my time.
Yeah.
It'll be 15 years.
15 years.
We were just going to get to that. So you've been with the chamber 15
Well,
years.
it'll be 15 years in May, so 14 and a half. Here we are.
Okay. And what did you do before?
So we came to Rutherford County 17 years ago in October. My husband runs outpatient surgery centers, and so we built the one in Smyrna across from Stonecrest, and that's kind of what brought us here. Wow. Didn't know anyone, so I will tell you the chamber has worked very well for us. But came in and really just, I was working for, at that time, an insurance company out of Nashville, and that just wasn't my thing. I actually went to work for a staffing agency here locally, and that's how I got involved with the chamber, because I was like, I got to know where business people are. I got to know where these industries I'm being told I got to go out and recruit for. So I joined the chamber. And then after that, I had the opportunity to come on as a diplomat. In our diplomat, and we'll talk about them, but it was such a great opportunity. And then a year later, so within 2 years, I'm on staff. And the opportunity opened up. And I'm grateful that at that time, Steve Benefield was our chamber president. Stephanie's been there forever. And then Ann Hensley was my direct. And I was the very first membership account executive. Ann was the membership person, and she had never had a second person in membership. So it was kind of cool that I got to be in that era of growth for the chamber.
So you came in and chamber exploded. So.
Well, I would love to say it was because I, did something great, but we just were on track, and our community was on track. I mean, you think about that. That was 2008. Yeah. And so I came in and found out I was pregnant 2 months after I joined the staff. And then I came back in after my maternity leave as the membership director because Ann had left. And at that time, that was right before the recession too. And even for our community, we went through a recession. And some of you, have felt that recession, but we did not go through it like the rest of the country did. We were so blessed. True. The red line was here. We hit it maybe a little bit, but where others were dipping way below the red line, we were just so blessed. And it's just because of the growth that was already happening in our community.
Well, there's more to it than just the growth. We live in a fantastic place, and geographically, we have it made with the 3 interstates, combining. And we have a really good, and have had for a long time, a really good political climate, leadership climate, whatever you want to call it, government climate for industry. And what I love is, and we'll get to this, I'm sure, more, is our county leaders, our individual city leaders, they work with you guys, and you guys kind of double team companies, and you go out and get companies rather than just wait for someone to come to us.
Our goal is to be very intentional and strategic about how we are promoting Rutherford County. And when people say, "Oh, you're the Murfreesboro Chamber," nope, we're Rutherford County.
That's right.
And I mean, I'm always correcting people because they want to stick me in one community.
I've seen you in Laverne. I've seen you in Smyrna.
Eagleville. I mean, we've had all kinds of opportunities. And so what I love is that, yes, we do have a lot of opportunities with our municipalities, and we are working very closely with them. To be able to have Jason Cole from Laverne call me and say, "Hey, we've got this business that's actually moving across the street into our county."
That's right. Go seal the deal.
As opposed to they were right across the street in Davidson County, and now they're in our community, and just to be able to partner up with them. But also, I think the really neat thing is that we're the intentionality of the type of businesses that we're looking to bring into Rutherford County. While it's great to have announcements, I mean, just you've got on your sheet. I mean, we've had announcements even during a pandemic. Who would have thunk that we would have had
even at the height of the pandemic?
At the height of the pandemic, because a lot of companies were just halting everything. To know that we still had those announcements during a pandemic was huge, and that was the confidence that those businesses had on our community. But it's our confidence that we have too. Our unemployment's extremely low. I mean, right now it's under 3%. That's scary for us because it's like, where are we going to get these people if we're going out and recruiting? But what that does, it allows people within our community to continue to move up in their careers or move into a different direction.
Well, and it also positions Rutherford County as a boon to other communities. So Shelbyville grows because of us.
Correct.
Manchester grows because of us. Woodbury grows because of us.
Correct.
And that's that's not a bad thing in real estate. Housing prices have gone bananas in Rutherford County, and they've gone bananas in the other places, but their bananas are a little smaller than ours.
Correct.
So it's like, you can still get a $200,000 house in some of those communities you can't get here.
Right. Yeah. There's no way. Yeah. Well, and it allows us to be able to be very strategic, like I said, intentional about the companies. So, like some of the companies that we've had are Gutter Glove, Woods Air Movement, Hunter Fans. And whenever I look at some of those,
That Hunter Fans facility is cool, by the way.
Yeah. So when I look at some of those, even Icy, bringing those type of companies in.
That was a fun tour.
That was a fun tour. Yeah. Did you go to the Icy room?
Sure did. It was awesome.
Who knew that they had a Jack and Coke Icy machine or a sangria? Those are adult versions.
Yeah. They were awesome is what they were.
They were. I had to take a moment for myself in those. What I love about this is that when you look at these announcements, you're not always just seeing the manufacturing or distribution. You're looking at North American headquarters. Mm-hmm. So you're making a spot on, it's not just a space. There's a true connection in a spot. You're looking at research and development. Things are being developed here. Our engineers, people who have gone to school and they're creating these new opportunities for across the world now. Because everything's international, right? So I love looking into more than just, that's, 85 jobs. Those 85 jobs that are higher paying, so our kids that go from literally preschool to PhD right here in Rutherford County,
that's right,
they can still work in these kind of
and it encourages places like MTSU and Motlow and even the high school level where there's some cooperation between junior colleges and colleges. It says, okay, you want to enter a field, I know for sure you'll have a job in this field because they're hiring and they're hiring and that's just here.
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing, if you flip that page over, it says Nissan has around 8,000 employees
on any given day.
Right. But that's not really the full story.
That's not
because
the full story.
That's 8,000 people at
Nissan. But then you're talking about Adient over here,
right?
And then you're talking about even Bridgestone, but you're talking about Dye, you're talking about NHK, you're talking about Molly, Kasai, all those different companies that are tiered to Nissan. They make
that number's
the
easily
parts.
double. Easily double.
Easily doubled.
Yeah.
But you've got all these companies. Even thinking about, Ford's coming to Memphis. Mm-hmm. That's going to impact us.
It is.
Why? Because that means that those parts and those pieces that go into a Ford, they can still be made at places like right here.
Yeah.
Well, we've got just on the Nissan campus, I have a friend that heads up a facility, Plastic Omnium.
Correct.
And they make gas tanks.
Right.
And they make gas tanks for the Nissans. But there's no reason that when that plant over there opens up, they can't at least bid on getting them started.
Correct.
For the Ford plant.
Well, because whenever I was in staffing, Molly was one of my companies, and that was how I kind of got into the world of understanding a little bit. And it's so crazy. You would think vehicles cost $1 million because it's like, well, there's a plant over here that makes the air filter system. There's a plant over here that makes the seats. There's a part over here. So it's so crazy how it all comes together.
Calsonic.
Yep. But they make a very specific piece. And even at Molly, there was a line for Nissan. There was a line for different other vehicles. Yep. They're all coming from the same place. They're just being designed or created different.
Yeah.
But
it's blown my mind too. Like with Molly, for example, we've done some job videos and stuff for them. But once we started doing that, we started getting contacted by other businesses like, hey, can you come do that for us? And these are huge businesses. Yeah. And I'm thinking, okay, where in Nashville do I got to go? And they're like, oh, we're off Butler Drive. I'm like, oh, wow, you're right here. And these giant companies. And what's the one?
Swan Cosmetics.
They make 90% of their products right here?
Yeah.
Something like
that. And it's so crazy because, of course, we never know until we never know what they're making. So it's not, we can't really know what brand they're making because everyone's so specific. And then once it leaves there, it gets wrapped and all that stuff. So it's kind of crazy. But I love Holly, and she's been on our board at Montgomery. Amazing. But think about that we've got a chemistry lab right there in that building. That they are creating things and they're scientists and they're doing all those things there on campus.
And it just keeps branching. I mean, you look at General Mills, for example. Okay, General Mills is over there. They get their hoses from Patco, for example. They get their refrigeration service by whoever it is that, whether it's Miller's or whomever else. So it just the ripples just keep going.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And and it's so crazy because we are a food industry community. I don't know if a lot of people really understand that. General Mills, Rich's, Pillsbury, Yoplait.
Taylor Farms.
Oh, the amount of food they pump out on a daily basis.
Yoplait. We have
Oh
the
my
world's
God.
largest yogurt manufacturer right here in Rutherford County.
Yeah. Taylor
Yoplait.
Farms.
Taylor Farms
You
in
eat bag
Smyrna.
salad?
Yep.
Yeah.
I know where it came from.
Right. Love it. But, your milk, whenever you walk into Kroger, your milk says Heritage Farms right there. And that's right there on New Salem. We pass by it every day.
General Mills, when we did the tour over there, they had the cinnamon buns going.
Oh, my gosh.
But there was so many of them. And I said, how many of these you pump out a day? He goes, 200,000-300,000. I went,
Yeah.
what? I said, individual.
Lewis Bakery.
Yeah.
It's
My
so
brewery
bad.
is
I know.
like from here to the,
The
road
smell.
away, and it's like
I do not know how people work around there because I'd be like,
you don't because you just kind of like.
and there's like workout places over there, and I'm
Right.
like, God bless them. They're
Was
there.
it was it
Work out
Pepe
and go
Le
next
Pew
door.
that would
Yeah.
that would get on the
Yes.
smell?
That's how I am whenever I'm over there because it's so cool.
It does smell good over
But
there.
have you ever been in there? Okay, if you ever get a chance to go into the bakery and see them putting those loaves of bread into, it goes on this conveyor belt thing. It's so cool. Like, it freaks you out. There's a lot going on, but it is amazing. And I don't know that I could work there every day because
We're
it
going to have
smells
to do
amazing.
that. Kelli Beam sent us over here to
Yes,
do a
I
tour.
can get
Knock,
you.
knock, knock.
I can get you a contact over there. But it's so cool because I think I wish our kids could see even more of the opportunities. And that's another thing is we're working in workforce, like you said. We're really diving into making sure our kids and these young people understand that there's so much opportunity here, and they can go from preschool to PhD. But they can go right out of high school and work in really great jobs. And then they can buy houses and buy cars and contribute to nonprofits and do all the things they need to do.
Yep.
They don't always have to be on a specific track, but we are trying to provide them with some tracks to be able
Opportunities. That's it.
to understand what that looks like.
This is the other cool thing. So we're talking about big stuff here. We're talking about the Nissans and the General Mills and all of these.
Yeah.
But still, with all this industry here, the backbone of our community is small business.
Small business.
And what Chamber does for the small businesses out there, not just the big ones and not just pulling in national brands or international brands, it's fantastic. I mean, you can't spend you can't get a better bang for your buck than a Chamber membership if you utilize the tools that are given with that membership.
When you utilize them, right?
That's right.
You need to utilize them, right? Yeah.
She and I have had this conversation. She's like, you're paying a Chamber membership and you've done nothing with it.
I know, right? Well, we do try to create some opportunities. I mean, if you and I look back on your time,
Oh, yeah. Way back.
and I remember you coming in as a young pup.
Oh, God. Like
and
Kelli Beam
and
shirts.
Kelli Beam, I love Kelli Beam
With
shirts.
more hair.
Yes,
yes,
more
with more hair. But I will say, even to what you've done, what I'm so proud is, and I've told people this all the time, I'm so proud that you came in, you dove into what was the opportunity. And that's all I can provide. I can't promise people business. I tell people all the time, don't expect business because you're a Chamber member, because shame on you and for creating that expectation for me. And I can't do that for everybody, but we can create some opportunities for you to meet people, for you to learn about the resources and opportunities in our community, and to get yourself out there in a way. I mean, I got people coming in here. Last week alone, I had Mississippi, Wisconsin, California, New York, Florida, Chicago, all these places are coming here. That was just last week.
Oh, my God.
Whenever I'm in my orientation, which I have every Friday at 8:30, 9:30 at the Chamber, at Chamber 101. But when I'm sitting there with 10 to 15 people every Friday, and these people are walking in, they just want the opportunity to connect.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's what they want.
Yeah.
Okay,
And so
that's what we create.
And so you put yourself in front of them, and I was a high school teacher before I was a real estate agent. And one of the challenges when you open a small business is to get people to think about you, not as what you were, but what you are and what you plan to be.
Right.
And a rebrand it's critical to go through the Chamber as part of that rebrand, in my opinion.
Well, and we have so many resources. We do have events and things that you can attend, right? But it's also just, receiving our communications, seeing,
Looking for the opportunity.
opportunities. Because there's brand new members who are being listed every week. Well, guess what? That's an opportunity for you to call and say, hey, John, I saw that you joined the chamber. Congratulations.
Yep.
I'm a chamber member too. If there's anything I can do to help you, or tell me a little bit more about your business. Because people are always looking for leads, right? Always.
Yeah.
If you're not looking for leads, you're lying. I mean, you just are.
Or you're lazy.
Or
You're lazy. Yeah.
So putting yourself out there in a way. But even at the chamber, we actually house the Small Business Development Center, which I love sharing this. It is a free service.
I interned there.
Did you?
In 2004.
Oh my gosh. What
He helped me
a
with a business
2003.
plan.
Yeah.
Many years ago.
Yeah. So just knowing that these are services that are resources for people, I think is important, because there's nothing worse than I've seen businesses come and go in 15 years.
Yeah.
And sometimes I go back to them and I just want to say, did you use these services? What did you do? Did you just open up and sit in your four walls? Or did you get out? And there's sometimes they're just services that just don't make sense.
Yeah.
Sure.
And they're not always successful. But if you just put yourself out there a little bit and continue to push yourself to find the right connections, it can happen.
Let's talk about that right connection. You, when you got started, you had a special person that helped mentor you a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And got you some of those connections.
And if y'all not had him on, I can
We
tell
have
you.
not, but we need to.
That would be a huge opportunity for you. Yes. So, of course, the staff at the chamber, Stephanie is a great resource, and, she's known tons of people. But really, my little whispering ear behind me is John Hood. And over the last 17 years, because really whenever I came into the community, like I said, I didn't know anyone, started getting involved, and he was a diplomat. And John Hood would come behind me, especially whenever I took over the membership department. He would come behind me and we'd be at a ribbon cutting or an event. He'd say, that's so-and-so. This is so-and-so's land. This is so-and-so's cousin's brother. Like all the stuff. Just the rich history of our community.
He is a wealth of information.
And it was
He's a
so
statesman
cool.
and just a he's
He
just a
served
phenomenal human being.
in the House of Representatives the entire time he was a diplomat as well.
Yeah.
26 years.
I didn't know that.
as a diplomat. 26 years as a diplomat. Him and Margaret Heath are my two longest serving diplomats. And he served, she's
Margaret
a parliamentarian. Did you
Margaret
know?
Heath?
Yes.
I love that lady.
Do you know?
She is
I mean,
awesome.
you know what a
No.
parliamentarian is? They run the Robert's Rules of Order. And she goes into meetings and she's set before presidents and major corporations.
Margaret Heath.
These are my people in my space with me. And I'm like, how cool am I? But yes, Margaret Heath.
She was always so nice and would come up and go, hi, John, give me a hug all the times. I never knew that.
She sat in front of presidents and major corporations, being a parliamentarian, making sure that they ran their meetings in appropriate rule.
Wow.
And how cool is that?
That
I
is
didn't even
cool.
know that was a job. That's awesome.
She got paid
oh,
to travel.
I'm sure she got paid well.
And
Right,
so
yeah.
how cool is that? So
Yeah.
if you ever need another cool person.
Oh, yeah.
But John really just helped me establish some history that I would have never been privy to had he not been standing there beside
Yeah.
me. So you know that the movie Devil Wears Prada, and I think her
gosh.
name's Emily, and she's got the little notebook, that was my person.
Yeah.
He would stand there and just give me some confidence, and he would say, here's some information. So I could use that in my conversations whenever I'm doing ribbon cuttings and events.
And as big as Rutherford County gets, we're at what, 340
Close to
some odd thousand, yeah.
Yeah,
As big as it gets, it is still a small town.
Yes, it is.
And it's still, or a small county. It's still having that history, having that background, having that context.
Right.
You can't be successful in a role like yours
Right.
without it. You can't.
Right. I mean, I really do tell people that is why I have been so successful in this role, is because I had people behind me. Stephanie's rich history with Mona Herring, our CVB team, our workforce development team, our economic development team. I mean, Holly Sears Sullivan, she's now at Amazon. I mean, she brought Amazon to the Nashville area. She worked in our office. You know, I mean, I've had these people in front of me. You know, Paul brings a lot of history and a lot of resources and understanding about chamber because he's done that for years. And so I've had a great mentorship of people behind me, pushing me to be in this opportunity. So,
Well, I do want to say one thing, if you don't mind. It's, you know, like it kind of reference what you said earlier when going way back, you know. So you must have just started at the chamber when I joined, because that was forever ago. Oh my God. Yeah,
I'll check your membership and see.
It was a long time. I remember the first meeting when you're like, John, your turn to stand up, and I stood on the chair.
No, I think you freaked me out. I was oh my gosh.
Let's see, even
remember
What would you be like, 8 foot tall?
I know,
right?
I made a joke, and I was like, I'm the new guy here. I was like, if you all may not remember what I do, you'll remember I'm the guy that stood on the chair.
Yeah,
and so, but
we were in the old building then too.
Yeah. God bless, so long ago. But you know, when I got started in the business and stuff, my dad was real helpful to me and gave me a lot of advice and stuff. And, you know, just put yourself out there. And you know me, I'll talk to that wall, you know, but, you know, talk to all the people you can, join the different things, such and such. And so joining the chamber. But you're a main reason I kept coming around, you know, and because you were so helpful. And I remember texting you like, hey, I'm looking for something or whatever, and you get right back to me, and boom, here you go.
We have lots of conversation.
Yeah, and I mean, because you were extremely helpful. Or like if I go to an event, I'm like, hey, Kelli, you're like, hey, I got somebody for you to meet. You know, I'm like, oh, thanks. And so, you know, yes, take advantage of the resources and stuff, but you're a main pusher for that. So,
well, I really want people to feel welcome because it's intimidating. You know, it's intimidating to put yourself out there sometimes, and there are people. You know, I didn't know I could be this open as far as like, you know, my personality. I mean, I've always had, you know, pretty open personality, but like just in a place where I'm very comfortable. And, you know, whenever people say there's only one of you, well, there really is only one of me. You know, this job there's only one. And I love that part, you know. But I love being able to walk into a space, you know, like business before and after hours, or the pitch or the roundabout, and welcome somebody new, because it's hard. We have gotten into this world of technology, and it's really easy for us to sit behind that, right?
Yeah.
But to walk into a space and shake a hand, that's my thing.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
What?
Where do I wear your name tag?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't have
high and right.
I don't. Yeah, or
high
and right. Excuse me. Sorry, it took me a minute.
Right. That's my little tag. But like, that's okay. High
Way to
and
go,
right.
man.
I know, I ruined it.
You really
Sorry.
failed. Come on now. We may have to reshoot that part.
I know, right?
High and right, high and bright. But like getting people comfortable enough to walk into a room to where they can command it, and they know how to walk into that space, because everybody's not wired like that, and that's okay. And I love seeing whenever people kind of go,
Yeah.
like in this moment of, oh, I can do this. And so, you know, my goal is like, if you come to business before and after hours, you know, I'm standing at the door, I'm waiting on you, and I'm going to pass you off on to one of my diplomats. I'm going to talk to you for a minute, but I'm not going to babysit you because you're a grown adult. But then I'm going to walk you over to somebody that I know is very capable of doing the same thing I'm going to do. They're going to walk you around, and they're going to introduce you. Again, not babysitting you. They know the deal. Yeah. My diplomats are amazing, and you guys know this. We have a brand new class of about 67, 68 for 2022.
Holy cow.
I'm so excited. That's not my biggest class, though.
Oh, no?
72 is my biggest class, and that was a lot. It's like hurting feathers sometimes. I love you guys, though.
Mean it.
Yeah. But what I will say is they have learned, and the culture that we've created is that we want to make people feel welcome. I don't care who you are. I don't care what kind of business you have. I don't care what background you come from. I want to make sure that you walk in there and you're feeling comfortable. So whenever you walk into an event or some kind of programming, you're going to meet me, but then you're going to meet all these other amazing business people in our community, and they know the drill. They walk you around, they take you off to somebody else, and that person takes you to somebody else, and that, you know, so you're going to get around the room.
Well, and I tell people, I do a lot of teaching of other real estate agents, and I tell them, networking can be a trap if you don't. If you go at it with no purpose, with no goal in mind, you end up handing out a bunch of business cards, and you basically just threw paper away. Right. So, you know, that system, what you're talking about, makes a lot of sense. Right. Establish a couple of people that are your home base within that, you know, normal networking group, and then start asking them for specific connections.
Correct.
Hey, do you know
So-and-so.
bricklayer? Do you know a yard person?
Yep.
Do you know a
Yep.
whatever? And make those connections purposefully
Correct.
that are going to help build your business.
Correct. And when you do that, so my biggest thing is, you find someone calling on the same type people you're calling on.
Right.
And
Or meeting them in the same places or whatever.
Right.
Yep.
And you find that person. Everybody's got that person that becomes just a great leads resource. I mean, Kim Kersey and I, Kim Kersey Howe, she and I mean, she's calling on businesses. I'm calling on business. And so we do a lot of leads. There's a lot of opportunities there. And I've got people all across Rutherford County that I get to do that with, and I will say to people, if there's somebody you want to meet, then let me know. And I will try to find that person within this space. Or if there's an email, somebody you want to connect by email, then you send me an email, say, I'd really like to connect with this type person. I will forward it on or whatever I can do to help you build that relationship.
Facilitate the connection.
And facilitate that connection. Being intentional about our time. We don't have enough hours in the day. Technology was supposed to make our lives easier, and it just made it more crazy.
Oh yeah.
So
100%.
crazy. So what I say is be even more intentional about when you're coming to our events, whenever you're coming to our programming, saying, hey, my goal is to meet 5 new people. But when you meet those people, if you get 5 cards, then use them. Don't just put them on a mailing list. That drives me nuts. Because if I get an email from you and you've not communicated with me, I'm deleting you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's frustrating. I want you to build a relationship. So if John gives me his business card, my goal is to turn around and say, hey, John, type you up a little message or
Let's
call
get
you.
Let's whatever.
Do coffee, or here's an opportunity. I'd love to see you at the next event. Or what you got going on? Let's have a communicate. Let's talk. I try to do, some of my new people who are into the community, I give them 30 minutes to kind of come back in after we've done orientation. Hey, where you at? Where's your heart? Where do you want to serve? How do you want to get connected?
Well, and have you defined your business a little bit better, right? What are you trying to do?
Are you a rifle or a shotgun? Like, are you just spraying it all out, or are you very pinpoint? Got something in mind? Because you can be all over the place, and I've been there before. I totally get it. I mean, yeah,
Which makes you go.
I've watched you.
I remember being there.
I've watched you.
All over the place means you're nowhere.
Correct.
Generally.
And you're not in a direction. So, I think that's what we try very hard. We're not always successful. There are people that don't get the chamber, and I'm okay with that. But if you really come in and understand the basis of what we're doing, and understand the root of what we do, we've been around since 1928. We're doing
Holy
something
moly.
right.
The Rutherford County one has? Wow.
1928.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
So
You look good for your age.
I was about to say that. You beat me to it.
Well, I hope I'm here for our 100-year anniversary.
There
We'll
you go.
see.
You got it.
It's not far. It's not far away. Just a few more years. But just really crazy that if people take the opportunity, get to know their community, get out, networking, and we're not the only networking group. I tell people we've got some amazing, people who have invested in each other and are investing in smaller groups, and that's great. We just try to start the process. Come be a part. And if you love it, then keep investing. But you're investing in more than just networking. You're investing in a community that's continuing to intentionally grow, and so that's important.
Well, and just throwing it out there with the chamber, there's, how did you word it? Like it's a little big town or a big little town or something? But,
yeah, the biggest small town in America.
Yeah, so
We're
many.
Boomtown.
Yeah.
That's what we were named, was Boomtown.
Oh, that's right. I saw that article.
It's so crazy.
But with all the events that you guys do and host and everything, there's a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, there's a lot of people that come to the events for one, but like you said, like John Hood and, or Margaret. Margaret was like one of my first clients, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And I never knew she did any of that stuff. And I'm like, holy crap, I know this lady,
But sometimes we just don't dive deep enough with our with our folks, and I think that's where whenever I get to meet with our folks that are coming into the community, that's why I want to sit down with them. I want to say again, where's your heart? Where do you want to serve? Because that's a huge way to get connected in our community, right?
Yeah.
You guys have done that. I mean, all of you. I mean, each one of you have invested in, it's very visible, and I can see that in other ways that you've not visibly shown it. But I'm just so grateful for that. But like getting in and really, where you want to go to church, where you want to serve, where's your kids going to go? Do they need a ball team to be on? I've got a family from Wisconsin. They got to know where ice skating is. I'm like, I got you.
Yeah, there you
my
go.
little neighbor Millie, she's 5 years old and plays hockey. I mean, how cool is that? So connecting people, I call myself the dot a lot of times. I like being that connector. I like being able to have those resources for people. Again, I don't want to be Google.
Yeah, I got you.
But I want to be our connector in this community.
I tell people all the time, I want to be the I know a guy.
Just thinking that. Yeah. Your famous words.
And that's what I'm so blessed to be able to do that. But I keep searching and I keep looking around our community to make sure that I know all the right people. There's so many people I'm still learning, even after 17 years.
Well, you had a great point, and that is that you join the chamber as a small business owner or a representative of a large business, or just because you want to join the chamber.
Right.
And the people that attend the events, especially the business before and after hours, those are folks that are just plugged into our community.
Right.
So it might be politicians, it might be, other community leaders, it might be nonprofits, it might be whatever. And so pastors. So going and meeting them, okay, you're not trying to build a business. Okay. But do you want to work on a little league team? Do you want to, whatever? Do you just want to go pick up trash and have the right person to call, to serve your community? That's who's there.
Right.
That's who is at those meetings, is people that have those connections and have the ability to get you whatever you want.
It is really neat, and I love. It's so cool. Sometimes I just sit back and watch like the relationships, because I'll be like, oh my gosh, that person really needs I can't wait till they start talking, because I know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
And I've got some of my diplomats, Nikki Sasser, Bobby Hopkins.
Oh, Bobby.
Bobby.
I love that guy.
But you
Another handsome bald man, by the way.
Right? But you talk to people like that say they took advantage of the opportunities. I mean, Bobby can tell you down to the penny about what his investment's done for him.
Oh, yeah.
That's so cool. And
I graduated high school with Nikki, by the way.
Yeah, well, and she's amazing.
She is.
But her and her business, and her and Brandon's business, how it's continuing to grow and explode, and these are homegrown companies that have developed, but they've taken advantage of some of the opportunities. Again, it's like going to the gym. You can put on the clothes, you can walk in, you can look at yourself in the mirror, and nothing's going to change until
You'd be
you
like
start
me and put
working
the clothes on and never actually get out of the car. You're like, I'm at the gym.
I'm here.
In the
first
parking
step.
lot.
It's the first step, right? But it's the same thing, I mean, there's people that probably drive up to a chamber event and are like, I'm too scared to walk in.
Sure.
And I never want them to feel like that, because I hope it's always a welcoming place. If not, you come find me, because that's really my heart and desire. But guys, I mean, we're diving deep into making sure our visitors feel welcome. I mean, we've got tourism coming in here. I mean, even in the year of 2020, our crazy year, we had over 915,000 people who came into Rutherford, room nights for Rutherford County.
Dang. Okay. Wow.
Room nights. Over 5,000 rooms in Rutherford County now. And we have 915,000 room nights taken up.
That is crazy. And that doesn't include
That was in
Airbnbs,
2020.
right?
Yeah.
That's 2020.
Yeah.
That's just the hotels, right?
Yeah.
So that doesn't include
I don't
Airbnbs.
think that includes the B&Bs.
Dang.
Yeah, because you have
'cause
no way
we
to
don't have
get that
one.
report.
Yeah.
There's a really great website, a few that I want to make sure I share with people. We have a brand new website. It's called RutherfordCountyData.com.
Oh, man.
Let me make a note of that one.
Yeah,
Hold on a
buddy.
second.
Like whenever I say it is a data geeks, like you will be lost for hours.
Oh,
I mean, just
man.
wait
My
till
new-
you're
Yeah,
welcome.
thanks a lot. My new
is-
time sucked.
I know, yeah, it is, but it is awesome. I'm really excited because our economic development team, Patrick, has pulled this in as a piece of resources for our community. I mean, the breakdown is phenomenal of the information. We also have, if you're looking for a job, and if you can't find a job in Rutherford County, you don't want a job. Well,
Yeah, you're not looking.
you're not looking.
Oh, yeah. They're everywhere.
I can promise you. But there's a website called jobs, the number 4, tn.gov. It's where we send everybody. Please put it in there. If you have jobs available within your company, email me at kbeam@rutherfordchamber.org. We actually have Who's Hiring Wednesdays that we send out information to our members and get that out there so that people can see who's hiring in our community. But that jobs for TN.gov website is a huge resource for lots of job opportunities.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
and there's so many good jobs out there right now.
Yeah.
Like the ones we've seen, people they're hiring $24, $25,
I've got a
$26
plant
an hour.
manager's job. I mean, I've got HR jobs. I mean, we're talking good paying jobs. Again, these are if people will take opportunity. That's the key word. I hope you heard me say over and over again. If you want to work hard, you want to get paid, you want to have benefits, you want to be able to take care of your family, we have those jobs right here. It may not exactly look like the job title that you think you want or you deserve.
Yeah.
But there are jobs, and if you will just go in and bust it for about 6 months to a year, you're probably going to get to where you want really quick.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I can promise you, this job, I didn't know it even existed. And I came in, I served as a diplomat, and then I came on staff.
Oh, yeah. There's
And now you don't want to be anywhere else.
Majority of my jobs. And so it's really hard for me to even look because I'm like, I love my job. I've worked my tail off for it. You know, I feel like I've done a good job for our community. And I'm really proud of our community because they've accepted me. I mean, just as much as I've worked hard for the community, they've accepted me to know that I'm going to be a good representation for our community. So I'm really grateful for that. But our kids have opportunity today. I've got young men and women who, you know, I love mentoring. We've got the Tennessee Promise. If you're not a Tennessee Promise mentor through Tennessee Achieves, huge opportunity, huge to mentor to some kids who are first-generation college students. We still today have first-generation college
Lots
students.
of them.
Lots of them. And college is not for everybody. I'm not saying you have to, but to walk through the process of getting into TCAT or Motlow or Vol State or culinary schools or electricians.
I was going to say our TCAT system is second to none. I mean, it's incredible.
And they have waiting lists. But we need professionals to come out to help us to train, you know, companies to take on more students.
Well, and the big thing with us building out the brewery, we've got a lot of tradesmen that have been in and out of our facility, and the number one, like every single time, what they say, we just need someone with a work ethic.
Right.
That's it.
That's
all we need.
That's what
We
I'm
can
saying.
give you the rest of everything that you
Right.
need. That's all we
Richie
need.
Bolin over in S&W Electric, God bless him. Every time I talk to him, he will say to me, he goes, I'm afraid to bid on stuff.
Yeah.
He's afraid to bid on projects because he knows what his work ethic is and what his expectations are. And he's afraid that he's not going to be able to meet it because he needs more and more teammates to come in. He'll say to me, Kelli, if you'll just send them, I'll teach them.
That's it.
If they want to work, I will teach them everything they need to know, and they'll be able to move into a role where they're able to take care of their families, buy houses, buy cars, go to restaurants, buy clothes, contribute to
and like
nonprofits.
electric, plumbing, refrigeration, HVAC, all of that, you can go through that through apprenticeship programs.
Correct.
You know, and you
that's
come
what
out
he
on the other
loves.
side making 30, 40, $50 an hour.
Yeah.
Easy.
If you want to weld, electrician, plumber, anything in construction right now,
Diesel mechanics.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Truck drivers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh, you know, if you want to be a truck driver right now, that's a good time to
Yeah.
start. I had a young lady, crazy enough it is, she worked retail, and I was at a ribbon cutting one day, and I said, what are you doing now? And she goes, you're never going to believe what I'm doing. And I was like, what? I mean, this cute little petite little thing. I mean, sweetest lady. She goes, actually, I'm driving a truck. And I went, what? She goes, yeah. She goes, the opportunity was great. My child was graduated from college. I'm doing my thing. I'm on my own.
And
I want
making
to
great
travel.
money.
I want to
Yeah, right.
I want to travel. what better way?
Yeah.
She's got her a rig, and she is a traveling fool right now. And I was like, I am so stinking proud of you. Because, again, she looked at an opportunity that she may have never even seen because she was laid off during the pandemic. And then she said, okay, what can I do? How can I contribute? How can I be part of the solution? And look at her.
Yep.
That's awesome.
How cool was that?
Well, that's like I got to give a shout out to Lee Company. We do a lot of stuff with them, but they have Lee Company University.
Yeah.
And they will put people through it. And then,
Exactly.
when they're done, it's like, we'd love to have you, but hey, you have this trade now.
Right.
You can go work. And some people, welders and different things, they're 6-figure jobs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they come out and boom, right off the bat. And it's incredible. I mean, they teach them, they put them through, what is it, 2 or 3 years or something worth of.
And all you need is a work ethic.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to be ready to work.
Work. And I will say, guys, real quick, our young people, I do think get slammed a lot for not giving great customer service, but it has to be taught somewhere. Okay, so I put that back on us. I walked through a line the other day, a young man, I get to the counter, I look at him, and he's transactional. He's just been taught to get the order done. And I looked at him and I said, hey, how you doing today? And he looked up at me like, did you just talk to me?
Did you talk to me?
He goes, you're the first person that's asked me that. And I went, wow. Shame on us. If we're expecting it, we should be teaching
Yeah,
it.
I got
That's
you.
right. Lead by example.
I mean, if you're in Walmart, some of those transactions are so transactional, guys. They're just scan and go. These are people who need to be taught, and they need to know that we see them. So please, for the love of goodness, talk to the people here in front of you. Interact. The drive-through the other night, I could hear the girl's voice, and I could hear that she had a smile. I get up to the window, and I said, I just want you to know you did a really good job. I could hear your smile. She goes, really? Because I'm really having a hard day. I said, you did a great job. I said, I could hear your smile. And she just looked at me, and she goes, thank you so much. But, guys, if we're expecting it, we got to teach it.
That's right. I agree.
From handshakes to conversation, teaching them what our phones. I mean, I was in a restaurant the other night too, and there's a phone at the front desk, and these girls are on it, and I'm like, so I text my little restaurant manager, and I was like, just so you know, I know this is not what you expect. So I'm not being a tattletale. I'm actually trying to help you so that you make sure that they have good customer service.
And they still have a job.
And they still have a job.
Yeah.
Because people just go wherever the next dollar is,
That's
right?
It's too easy.
Invest in these young people. They will do what we expect if we will just invest in them. Teach them what good customer service is. Teach them about how to create opportunities for themselves. Because it can happen, but we've got to invest in them. We're moving too fast. We got to slow down. We got to take some time. We got to talk to these young people. I love going in. Be a mentor with Tennessee Achieves. Go into our schools. I mean, you've seen that as a teacher. I mean, it's when the outside comes to the inside in our schools, it's huge. That's what I love about our workforce development. We have 5 pathways that are construction, IT, manufacturing, supply chain, and healthcare. Those are our high 5 areas. And when we're doing those 5 areas well, everything else works. Because our small business gets, more, and our big business gets more, and our community works together.
I just want to throw this out there because I know you'll do this, and I'm sure you'll probably do this too. When you're talking about going through like a checkout line, I love doing this. I do this all the time. You want to see somebody light up there checking out, especially a young person. I always tell them, man, I've got a really bad sweet tooth, but I can't decide on what candy bar I want. What's your favorite? Yeah. And they'll go, I like the Snickers bars. I'm like, okay, cool. And I'll buy it and test it. And I go, by the way, here. And they they just look at you with this shocked look. I'm like, I hope you have a great day. And they're like, thank you so much.
I know, like just the smallest of things.
90% of the times I get hugs. Yeah. They're like, thank you. And the people behind the lines are like, hey, how are you? And it just starts this like feel-good motion.
That is a fantastic idea.
That is a great idea.
And
Thanks for sharing that.
Well, it's so simple.
It is simple, even if it's a pack of gum. I mean,
something. Yeah, I do it at Publix all the time. And I love, there's this very specific one. This young girl, you could just tell she wasn't having a good day. And I got her Reese's cups, and she was, oh, thank you so much. And I was like, don't cry on me. You're going to make me cry. I'm a big baby. Don't do that. But
Well, it is about, I mean, we're trying to grow a community, and we have to do a better job of, again, it's just about being intentional. We want to be intentional with our kids in our homes. We've got to be intentional about our young people. Because if you see me and I'm in front of a kid, I'm shaking their hand. I am looking them in the eyes. I'm asking them to say their name, because that may be the first time they've been introduced to a handshake. Because I'll have kids that'll like hand me their opposite hand, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, or they do this.
Yeah, the limp fish. You know, I don't like the limp fish.
I've actually seen you do that when you come up on people and you're like, hi, how are you?
And I will correct a bad handshake, because it's that important. That's our first connection with people. And I want to make sure people really understand and take that back, because I mean, there's relationship in that, there's trust in that, there's community in that. There's so many pieces and parts of it. So those are really important pieces. And again, if you ever see me in front of a young person, I'm shaking their hand, I'm getting on their level. I don't care if it's in church, if I'm in the grocery store, baseball game, whatever. Those are things that we can contribute to our community. So.
Dang.
I knew we wouldn't make 30
No,
minutes.
that's right.
I knew it.
Sorry.
I knew it.
No, that's fine.
We almost need like a part 2, or maybe like a every other month feature. You know, like
there's so many things.
You just got to come back.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Well,
it's an honor.
There's a lot about you we didn't talk about.
I
You
know.
got like some rock star kids. Your husband's an
Man.
awesome guy. I mean, like, come on now.
we didn't even scratch the surface, y'all.
Yeah.
No.
So-
I'm very blessed, and God has been so good to me, and being able to live out my faith right here in Rutherford County. Dixon to Tullahoma, that's our hometowns, and so Murfreesboro and Rutherford County has just made us feel very welcome in our home here. 17 years. I would have never thought I would have been here. You know,
It's funny how that works sometimes, isn't it?
yeah,
Right.
it's so cool. And so again, I'm very blessed to be able to serve in this community.
Well,
so.
we are better in this community with you here. So we're very, very happy that you have
pretty
chosen this to be your home, and that you continue to choose this to be your home.
Yep.
And all the things that you and the chamber do for our community. Guys, you have no idea how far those fingers reach from the chamber. It's crazy.
Well, and you don't have to be a business owner either, right? You
That's
can be an
it.
individual. So
You can be an individual, and I love when our families come in, and like a spouse will be like, "Hey, can my husband or wife come in to hear more about stuff?" And I'm like, "Sure,
Yeah.
why not?" Because then it's just they're another voice. They're talking,
Yeah.
they're getting out. So definitely,
Okay.
I'm really grateful for that.
well, cool. Well, if you don't mind, before we close out, I know we're holding you up. You're a busy woman.
I have 5 ribbon cuttings this week.
Oh my God!
Outstanding.
Okay. That's right. I actually think I saw that last night. I was looking at the list.
You got the
but-
sheet. I know you got the sheet.
Yes,
so,
ma'am. If people want more information about the chamber, or if you can contact you or whatever, how can they do that?
you can. Our website is rutherfordchamber.org. I think that's right. Yeah, org. I always have to remember. You can contact me, Kelli Beam at rutherfordchamber.org. You can call the chamber, 615-893-6565. You can stop by. Orientations every Friday. We'll have it this Friday and next Friday, and then I'm off for 2 weeks.
There you go. All right.
Just go
Yeah,
check out the
babies.
building, too. The chamber building's gorgeous.
Yeah, our
it is.
visitor center. I mean, a lot of people have never been in our visitor center. There's a wall.
There's a lot of
There's
info
a
in
wall
there.
that goes from West Tennessee to Middle Tennessee to East Tennessee, laid out so nicely.
You know, it took me forever to realize that. When I was like, oh, that's what that is.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
It just hit
So
one
it
day. I
goes
was like,
from
wait a
Memphis
sec.
to Sevierville and Kingsport and all that area.
That's
So really just really cool opportunity to come in and look at the history of Rutherford County on the walls there. But yeah, come visit us. We do have business before and after hours coming up on the 14th and 16th. So check out our website under events. You can go back and look at all of our events that we've done, celebrations and stuff. I know I send them. You do a great job, and thank you so much.
no problem.
It's great partners like you that we have that continues to spread the word. And so come to our ribbon cuttings. That's a personal invitation. Come
There
to
you
our
go.
ribbon cuttings. I try to have them at 11 or 4, very strategic in the day and times, so that you can go on your way to lunch or go on your way home. But if you got 30 minutes, come in and meet that person.
Yeah.
Grab a card and say, "Hey, I'd love to come back and meet you." And what a great opportunity. It's a warm call at that point. So lots of opportunity. That's the key word I want you to walk away with. The resources and the opportunity to do.
We're going to put a little counter on the video. Opportunity. Bing.
Yep, bing. Opportunity. I know, we probably should have that word. I hope it went off a gazillion times.
That's all right. Well, cool. Right. Again, thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. You have to come back. We got lots more to talk about.
Cheers.
So,
Cheers.
there you go.
Thanks.
Thank you all for watching. See you on the next one.
Have a great week.